Hello everyone, it's James from Theresa's Soundworld Alternative Music blog page. Now you're probably watching this on Facebook, but if you're not, you'll be watching me on Instagram or YouTube. And also I have a presence on Twitter and somewhere on Tumblr or other. But anyway, this is something a bit different that I haven't done before. This is just telling you about a charity album that's out on the listening platform of Bandcamp. And it's supporting a particular UK charity. The album itself is called Music Against Living Miserably, and it's supporting the charity called CALM, which is also known as CALMzone, but CALM stands for the Campaign Against Living Miserably. It's a UK charity, and for mostly they're a listening service which provide a phone line which runs every day, 365 days a year, from 5 p.m. to midnight, and it's manned by volunteers. Also, what CALM are proud of doing is they're leading a campaign against suicide, and they're trying to break down all the taboo that there is of suicide and getting people to talk about it and breaking down unhelpful stereotypes. CALM support anyone who identifies as being male, and within that vast umbrella, they're just trying to break down all the individual stereotyping you get in certain groups. So with straight men, they're trying to break down this whole thing where you're told to man up, suck it up, bottle it up, don't talk about it, you're less of a man if you talk about your emotions. So there's that. There's also supporting members of the gay and bi community as well, who need to be able to have that sort of support, and there's all sorts of stereotyping with those groups where they can't always access or feel comfortable to access what they need. And of course the transgender community as well, transgender people who identify as male. So CALM are trying to address everyone, break down all these either negative or positive stereotypes you get with different groups of people, and like I say, breaking down taboos as well. And also, it's not forgetting anyone who has got mental health problems, behavioural problems such as autism or ADHD, addiction problems, substance abuse. They can also help with their chat line. They can talk things through, like if someone's having relationship problems or going through a separation, that kind of thing, or maybe even a bereavement. So it's not all about suicide, but that is one of the main points to the charity as well that they're trying to address. So anyway, the album itself. So this album is the brainchild of members of an alternative rock punk band who are English, called there's Kapitans, and they've invited various bands and artists. There's over 20 bands and artists providing a track for this album. Now, just really quickly, I'm involved in this as well as a musician. I don't want to talk about it too much because I think that self-promotion is very vulgar on my own music blog page when I'm supposed to be supporting other bands and artists. So anyway, I feature in my music guise of Master Harker, but that's all I really want to say on it. I'm just part of this. So anyway, the various genres are punk, indie, alternative rock, singer-songwriters, experimental music, some verging on electronica as well. So there's a nice variety, and there's a nice peak and flow and mix to this compilation as well. And if you're a bit of a music buff like myself, it just really reminded me of those sort of compilations where for labels in the 90s like Fierce Panda, where you'd get all bands that went on to be bigger, like Placebo and Coldplay and all these sort of bands, when they were rough around the edges and they were sort of all playing together on these sort of compilations. So it had this sort of nostalgic feel for me, and I'm sure it will do for lots of other people. Me and the bands involved are getting a bit too old to have our egos massaged. It's not about that really. It's just sort of supporting the charity. So probably there's some of you wondering if you're not an artist, or if you're not a blogger like me, or a band, or perhaps you do your listening all on iTunes or Spotify, you don't know what Bandcamp is. I thought I'd explain it, because I was trying to explain it to my dad the other day, and he had no idea what Bandcamp was. So I explained it to him, so I'll pretend that you're my dad if you haven't heard of Bandcamp. So Bandcamp is an online listening platform, and it really gives the opportunities for bands and artists to upload their own music. As a member, if you're going to buy the album to help support the charity, you can log in and create a profile for free. It's not like iTunes or Spotify where you have to pay a monthly subscription. Bandcamp is free. You will find that bands have sometimes put a price on their music, like how we've done on the compilation, and that you'll have to upload either your PayPal details or your credit card to buy those. But some bands, just to tell you some of the other benefits of Bandcamp, some bands put their music in as a free download, or they might put it in as name your price, where you can put in what you want, but it's totally acceptable to put in £0 and 0p, and then you can download it, but you have to download those onto your PC and piggyback them onto iTunes. If you pay, then the album or single, whatever you've bought, will show up in a collection. Everything is tagged on Bandcamp as well, so say it's like indie, punk, charity album, whatever it is, and the more that you buy of the charity album, the more it'll show up on a chart system, and then the album becomes more visible and more people in theory will see it and buy it. On Bandcamp, it's not just an alternative music platform. There's lots of different genres, from R&B to hip-hop to dance to jazz to country. There's even like classical artists on there as well, so you'll always find something, and you'll be quite surprised about how many established, quite famous artists have seen Bandcamp as a way so that a label they're on don't take such a big cut. And talking of this as well, when you buy something from Bandcamp, some has to go to Bandcamp to keep the site running, but the majority will go to the artist. But what they have started doing, Bandcamp, one Friday a month, is waiving all fees, so it means that 100% of the proceeds of something that you buy will go to the artist. So in this case, 100% goes to the artist, to the album, and then to the charity. So it's really, hopefully, I won't keep you much longer, but it's just to say, I hope that perhaps you'll consider clicking on the link, checking out the album. If you haven't got a Bandcamp profile, create one, like I say, for free. Pay in the £3.50, which isn't much at all for all those tracks. And then hopefully, if you're a band, an artist, a reader, a supporter of this page, or if you're just a friend, maybe you would like to share this vlog with all its links, or you could make your own one up as well, but remember to hashtag the hell out of it wherever you are, be you on Facebook or Twitter, otherwise it'll just vanish. Be creative. There's other platforms like Instagram, TikTok and Tumblr, so we just want it out there, so if you can help us, that would be brilliant. Like I say, CALM are trying to lead a campaign against suicide. Let's get everyone talking about it, and let's get everyone thinking differently about it. Many thanks for your time, and cheers for now.